because that is where I throw all mindfulness out the window.
I stopped by Starbucks again to use my gift cards that I have because it feels like free at this point, you know? I mean, I guess it is. But last time I went grocery shopping, I like didn't get any breakfast food for myself, and so I've been struggle mealing it for a couple days. But then today I just decided to get food. So I got a blueberry scone and I got a spinach feta egg wrap. And that was my breakfast. Today's a Monday. I tried to vlog over the weekend and I did 2 introduction clips, like one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then just like didn't vlog beyond that. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm headed into work today, and obviously like once I'm in work, you don't get to see me anymore because it's jail, no phones are allowed. I'm gonna put both of those intro clips because I feel like they give a little bit of context to the weekend, because it was not like big, but like it was kind of a monumental weekend, which you'll hear like when I talk about it. So I'm gonna head into work. I'm gonna send you back to Saturday and then to Sunday. Don't get confused. That was the past. And then you'll catch up with me again after work. Does that sound good for the storyboard of the vlog, how we're beginning? Good morning. Did I say that? Okay. Back to Saturday you go. Good morning from me and my little hot bev to start the day, as well as my spinach feta egg wrap. It's been a long time since I've gotten my spinach feta egg wrap, and I'm very, very excited for it. And then the little hot bev, I still have gift cards that I'm using to Big Man Starbucks. So I got a grande blonde latte, and I did oat milk because, you know, dairy. And then I did 2 pumps of raspberry syrup and 1 pump mocha. It's a little mocha raspberry. Because I think it was like the last time that I at least came to this Starbucks. That's what I got, and it was delicious. That whole chocolate fruity coffee thing going on, love it. But I'm headed into work right now. I'm headed into the facility that I give extra help at, which I've mentioned on and off from the past months, but I've been coming here about on average every other weekend since July, since they needed extra help. But this is actually my last weekend here because now they're set, they're good to go. In a vlog a couple weeks ago at this point, I mentioned I was training someone. I also trained someone back in November, so they've just kind of been collecting people, you know, and now everyone's settled in enough to where they don't need me anymore. So this is my last weekend, which I think is a good thing. I feel like it's a nice natural ending, you know? This was my last time giving extra help at this facility. I had one of those moments where, like, you know, in the movies where they start playing the background music as I'm like closing the office door, and I just kind of gaze into the office and around, you know, like, oh, this is the last time, which like is good for them, you know, and it feels like a nice natural end. I did go in later this morning than usual because last night I went out with my coworkers at the one that I actually work at, which was fun, but I got to bed late and thus woke up late this morning, which is fine because it's a weekend, so it's kind of free with what I do. There's a marathon happening today in Atlanta that is altering traffic in some different types of ways. So I don't know how I'm gonna get home today. I'll try to figure out a way, but I'm preparing for it to be a longer drive than usual. And I'll listen to like Good Old Days by Macklemore or something to commemorate it being my last time here. And this is like not something that I regularly like drive by or an area that I go to. So like genuinely, if I don't come here, like I'm not gonna be seeing it, so.
Welcome back to the present day. The most important thing I think about those weekend clips, that was the context I needed you to get, is the fact that I am done going to the second facility that I've been working at since July. So that's a change. But Monday at work, I did 2 full intake assessments, 2 individual counseling sessions, got all of my notes in, did rounds for everything that day, had like quite a few little changes to make in protocols and stuff like that, and ended up being very, very busy, which I think is just becoming, like, it waxes and wanes so much. But I think also Mondays specifically are usually pretty busy because they come off a weekend, so there's sometimes just things that, you know, get shifted to Monday from the weekend. So far today, I filmed, edited, and uploaded, it's not published yet, it will be tomorrow, and uploaded the monthly reset routine for like ending February, headed into March, which I feel good about. It was a good video. I've also been watching, let's see, it's right here. I've been watching Ginny and Georgia, which it's been a second since I've gotten into a TV show. I feel like What was the last one I watched? I know September, October, I was watching Orange is the New Black. I watched Love Island. I watched The Kardashians in like December. I started watching a little bit, but it's really just not good. But I started watching the Will Trent series since I've been reading those books, but it's just not good. But this one is very good, and I'm already on season 2, and I started it, I don't know when, somewhat recently. I feel like I've heard people talk about Ginny and Georgia, but I never thought that I would actually like it. I think I thought it was like for kids. Like I thought it was like what an old Nickelodeon show would have been or something, but it's not. It's not, kids. And then also, if you thought that the capitalism ended in last week's vlog, you would be wrong. But I made an order with Barnes & Noble because I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which there's a whole reading vlog, spoilers full, on the booktube. So if you also read ACOTAR, go watch that reading vlog. I just think it's fun to discuss. But like with how I specifically felt about ACOTAR, it's one of those series that it's not that it was exceptionally good or anything, but I really enjoyed it. Some parts just made me crack up, not because they were written to be funny, but just because they made me crack up. And I got the rest of the series at the bookstore, you know, that was in last week's vlog. I got them last week, but they didn't have the second book, and obviously now I'm on the second book, and this is actually so much prettier of a color than I thought it was going to be. But I got the second one, which is A Court of Mist and Fury, which is 626 pages. So I don't know when I'll get around to this one. And then in that same order, I also got Homegoing by Yazzie, just because I've heard about it for a long time and I've never actually read it. And I feel like it's a well-renowned book. And then also in that same order, I pre-ordered Happy Place by Emily Henry, which comes out in April. These actually arrived like a few days ago and I just hadn't opened them. I wish the camera was picking up how pretty of a color this is, because I think it looks more washed out on here than it does in real life. Like it is a very rich turquoise. Yeah, but plan for the rest of the day is I'm gonna film the monthly reading wrap up. Tuesdays have become big film days. And then I guess I'll see if, maybe I'll edit that one too, just like while I watch Ginny and Georgia. That could be fun. Last night, my yawn reminded me of this. So I was laying in bed, and usually, which I feel very thankful for, usually I don't have any problems sleeping. Like I'll just kind of fall asleep probably within 10 minutes of attempting to go to sleep, and maybe we'll wake up like once during the night. Sometimes I'll like go to the bathroom, sometimes just like wake up, roll over, go back to sleep. Usually sleep's pretty good. Last night I was laying there and I could not for the life of me fall asleep. It was one of those ones where your eyes are closed and you're just like, am I still awake? Yep, I'm still awake. All right, am I still awake? Yep, I'm still awake. And it probably was like an hour and a half of just laying there, which was really a test to my whole, oh, I'm trying to learn mindfulness type thing, because that is where I throw all mindfulness out the window. It would be so beneficial to whenever, you know, you're not able to sleep, being like, you know, I'm not sleeping and that's okay. No judgment. That doesn't mean it's bad. Maybe I'll just have a tired day tomorrow and that's okay. That radical acceptance thing, love it during the rest of life. But there's just something that when you're laying there, it's like, I'm fuming because I can't sleep. And it was one of those where I just like couldn't get comfortable. And so this is something I've done maybe like twice in the past year. And I don't know why it's so effective, but I went to sleep on the floor. I got a big blanket, I got my pillow, I curled up on the floor, and I was so comfortable there. I think sometimes it's like, I feel like it's like straightening out my spine. It's like a reset. And I slept on the floor until probably like 5:30, which then at that point I was like, all right, now that I've been sleeping, I can probably be comfortable on a mattress once more. I think why it happened though is because I had a coffee drink at like 3 p.m., which I would not have thought was too late for me, especially because I swore I could sleep through caffeine. But I don't know if this one was just different or how it was, but caffeine half-life is 6 hours, and so since I had 200 milligrams of caffeine at 3 p.m., that means at 9 p.m. I still had about 100 milligrams of caffeine circulating around. And I am pretty tired today because of it. But radical acceptance, that's okay. Being tired is not a bad thing. It just means I'm a little sleepy. I kind of forgot that I was gonna film that reading wrap-up video, but I'll do that. I have some videos to plan. The feelings are kind of weird right now. I feel like I had so many bullet points I need to talk about that I'm getting all caught up with right now. But my feelings right now are trying to really enjoy and soak up the Tuesday and Wednesday off days because, you know, it's such a nice thing here. While also coming to terms with the fact that if I get a regular 9-to-5 full-time job like I'm hoping for, then I'm not gonna have my random Tuesday, Wednesdays off. I'll have Saturdays and Sundays off, which is good, you know, because remember how I talked about the fact that I want a regular weekend with Saturday and Sunday off. But there's something different about going to a coffee shop on like a Wednesday morning than there is on a Saturday morning, you know? Or being able to make appointments, like going to the dentist on a Wednesday because I was already off on Wednesday. That was wonderful. So I'm trying to be grateful, but I feel like right now I'm being grateful and then it's tinged with the, but you're not always gonna have this. Which again, mindfulness, radical acceptance, that is okay. But those are just my thoughts. Let me get back to work. or else I'll talk your ear off all day.
I've been so awful at getting B-roll. There's been absolutely no B-roll that I've been getting this vlog so far. So I apologize because it's probably just going from like chat to chat, but maybe it's fun for you. But today is Wednesday morning and Zach is meeting me at a coffee shop. My coffee shop, so I can actually get work done, just because yesterday ended up being more of a slump day than I had kind of hoped that it would be. And I know I keep preaching like it's okay to have rest days, it's okay to have rest days. I just hadn't really planned on yesterday being like an entire rest day in the afternoon. I had some things on the to-do that I was hoping to get done that I didn't, and so I was kind of feeling the effects of that as if I don't have like all of today. So it'll just mean working today instead of yesterday, because I've kind of learned that I like whenever I have the 2 days off to really like front load work into that first day of it, because then the second day it's like, everything's already done, now I'm just chilling, and I am reversing that today.
I feel like this is going to be a short little weekly vlog, but sometimes that happens and that's okay. I think there are weeks when I go to work and I feel like I have so much to talk about and there's so much going on outside of work, and the content just comes and makes this wonderful long weekly vlog. And then sometimes are weeks that I'm going in and out of work and it's like the morning routine and the evening routine are so strict and so necessary in those weeks that I don't have time to film extra B-roll, as you know, or chat extra. But hopefully these are still some enjoyable moments in your day, enjoyable minutes watching, enjoyable minutes hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. Exciting big things coming, and I'll see you next time.